Right, so today we're gonna look at June 2019 and now Jan 2020 Tangshinaya. So let's get going. So one, a trader had an opening capital of $3,900. If his drawings were 900 and his closing capital was 4,860, what was his net profit? We're up for this one. Yep, that's correct. C is the correct answer. 1860. Very good. Let's see. Nice. Number two, a company's rent expense account had an opening debit balance of 2,000. During the year, 6,000 was paid for rent. At the end of the year, there was a closing debit balance of 1,500. What was the rent revenue recorded for the year? So we have 9,500 and 6,500. So let's look at it, right? We could do a better job than that. Now, remember I was telling you with this, right? When you talk about the at the end of the year, that's like a balance brought down figure. Right? Because when you close off your accounts at the end of the year, once you think about what you do when you balance in your accounts before you post a trial balance, right? You would actually do the brought down, and that's the carry down figures what you put in your trial balance. So the opening debit balance, right? This opening debit balance was a balance brought forward on this side. A balance brought forward on the debit side of our expense account indicates that is a prepayment, right? So this was a prepayment here, right? If it was on the credit side, is an accrual, right? Next, during the year, you paid $6,000. So anytime you pay any of these expenses, you're always going to debit the expense account. And that would make sense because if you're paying it, you're either paying cash or bank. And if you're spending your money, you're going to have to credit your cash book or credit your bank column in your cash book, right? Good. So now we have at the end of the year, there was a closing debit balance of 1,500. That closing debit balance you're talking about, right, is at the end of the year, you had this closing debit balance brought forward again on this side, 1,500, right? So you still prepaid the rent account, right? What that would mean is that for this to be a balance brought forward on this debit side, the balance carried on would have been here, right? So this side adds up to give me 8,000. And I need this side to add up to give me 8,000 as well. We already have 1,500. So the missing figure has to be 6,500, right? So this figure here is what I post to the P&L account. This is the expense that I'm going to quote in the P&L account. So the expense recorded in the P&L account would be B, 6,500. Make sense? Drop a one if you're okay with that. All right, great. Everybody all right? Right, so remember this one. Number three, in a partnership, which of the following transactions is compulsory? What we must do in a partnership? If you're in a partnership, what you'd expect that they must do? Yeah, they get you share profits. That's the only reason why we're in the partnership. Yeah. Four, which of the following terms describe the exchange of goods and services? Exchange of goods and services, transactions. Very good. Excellent. Number five, which of the following best describes the double entry system of accounting? Yes, that's correct. Each transaction must have a debit and a credit entry. Six, which of the following items are examples of current liabilities? Correct, C. Right, this is as a long-term liability. Mortgages usually run for 30 years plus. 7. Which of the following is usually used to complete a general journal entry? Very good. Narration. Excellent. 8. In the purpose of electronic clock card. The purpose of electronic clock cards is to record what? Yep, that's right. Good job, Shania, Simon, for his attendance. Right, you want to make sure that they accounted, they present and accounted for. Cash book is best used for recording what? Very good. Right, this is the correct answer here. Right, cash receipts and cash payments. 10 refers to the following. The income tax to be deducted from Teresha Ali is $615. Yes, that's correct. Right, remember we are applying this 25% on the amount above $2,000. So we're finding 25% of 1,500 here and 30% on the 800. Right, and that should give me the 615. Yeah. 11. A businessman offers a discount for prompt payment for goods purchased. Under which column in his 3-column cash book would this discount be entered? Yes, that's correct. Very good, guys. Shania, Simon, discounts allowed. Excellent. Number 12. Item 12 refers to the following information which relates to Jim's salary. What is the sum of money Jim receives as his gross salary? $2,200. Yeah, that's correct. Right, you're not gonna add this overtime pay inside of there. Right, that's separate. His gross salary would be your net pay, add back the taxes, add back the union dues, add back the pension plan. That'll give us to be very good. Number 13. P. Hawk has a manufacturing business. The cost of his raw materials is $1,900. Rates and rent total $2,000 and factory wages amount to $2,500. The number of units produced 640. What's the cost of 1 unit? Yep, that's correct. C. 10. Right, so if you total these up, you'd realize that works out to be 6,400 as our answer there. 14. Control accounts. They're kept mainly to locate errors. This is a common question. Sorry. 15. The balance of an accounts payable account is entered in the balance sheet under the heading what? Yeah, that's correct. Current liabilities. Always think payable, and we have to pay out. So that's the creditors I would pay. Receivables, on the other hand, as a debtors. So the account receivables would be a current asset. 16. How does an increase in bad debts affect the sole trader's financial statements? Decrease the net profit. That's correct. Because increase in bad debts as an expense, right? We charge this to the profit and loss part of our final account. So that decreases net profit. Good. 17. Trader receive an invoice 4,000 less a 25% trade discount. Subsequently, he returned 1/8 of the goods. What amount would be entered in his returns outwards account? Yep, A375. This is another repeat. Good job, guys. 18. Mr. Abel and Mr. Blue purchase goods. Another common question. They buy goods on credit, $50, $75. Another guy buy goods for cash, $550. And Mr. Kane take goods for himself, $500. They want to know what's the amount going in the sales account. Yep, 675. Nominal accounts. Which of the following are nominal? Wages, rent, stock, debtors, machine. Yep, you all know this. Nominal accounts are all the expense accounts. Good. 20. Proprietor withdraws cash and other assets from the business. They want to know the effect drawings will have, the effect it will have on either drawings or capital. Yeah, if you take money out, it's gonna decrease the capital. Very good. Standing order $25 for insurance appears on the debit column of the bank statement. This amount doesn't appear in the cash book. How do you treat with it in the cash book? Yep, correct. You wanna credit the bank column of the cash book, so we'd show that deduction there as well. 22, trial balance is prepared by using the balances from the, where we get the balances from. Yep, that's correct. We show from the ledger. Right? The journal is a book of original entry, meaning that that's where you're gonna make the first entry when you're doing bookkeeping, right? So the process would be you'd have your source documents, like your invoice, your purchase order, PO, right? You get these. When you get these, somebody's gonna put that inside of journals, right? If it's sales related, like a sales order, will go in our sales journal. Purchases will go in our purchases journal, right? From there, it goes to the ledger. It's going in the ledger most of the time. If it's going in the sales ledger, it's because it's a credit, sales or purchase. Well, sales, if it's a sales ledger. Purchase ledger would be a credit purchase. Right? Other than that, you have the general ledger. General ledgers would be for like your expense accounts and that kind of thing. Right? The only reason these go in here again, remember, is because it's a credit sale or purchase. The general ledger would also have the general sales account. So your balances of credit sales and cash sales would go to that afterwards. Right? So all of these ledgers, you balance these at the end of a period. And when you balance these, that's what you're going to use to create the trial balance. And from the trial balance is where we're going to do final accounts, your trading and profit and loss, your balance sheet. And then we'll use those now to do things like this, right? We call gross profit percentage. What is 529,800 represents? What is this? Yep, that's correct. Total sales. Right, so that's how the whole process works. In the real world, that bit that I just talked about with the ledger and stuff, that's what they refer to as financial accounting. And then when you prepare the final accounts and you do these ratios, that's more managerial type accounting. So you're using the information now to make managerial type decisions based on what those ratios tell you. And then the one step above that is corporate accounting. That's where you're looking at things like business acquisitions and buyovers and takeovers and what you're going to price stocks at, what the business is going to invest in, things like that. 24. Mrs. Smith does not keep proper records. She began business with 10,000 in its bank account, uses a vehicle and a building with 6 and 15,000 respectively. Customers owe her 4,000. She withdrew 1,500 for personal use and owed creditors 2,000. What is the closing capital of the business? Yep, see, 31,500. Right here we're looking at assets minus liabilities to give us capital. And remember, we could change this around, so it's just like maths. Assets is equal to capital plus liabilities. Yeah, right. 25. The working capital of A. Young and Sons is 15,500. The total amount of current assets is 16,500. What is the total amount of current liabilities? Yep, that's correct. Another repeat. $1,000. Good job, Risha, Cheyenne, Simon. Well done. 26. What is the cost of goods sold? Cost of goods sold. Opening stock plus purchases. If you have returns, we have take away returns there. And then all of that, we're going to take away closing stock from that. Everybody, what you all got for that? Let me see. Yeah, B. 50,653. Right, so you want to take note of this one. Your opening stock, and to that you're adding net. This is net purchases here, right? I'm working out by using these two figures. I need to subtract these two to find out what I actually purchased. This bit here, this is your goods available for sale, right? Is what you had in the stock room at the beginning of the year and what you purchased. That's what you have to sell for the entire year. And then what we do is we come and we take away what we remain with. And that tells us the cost of the goods that we actually sold, right? And that's that figure there. Nice. What's gross profit? The gross profit is just the difference between your net sales and that cost of goods sold, right? Yep, correct. 31,645. Excellent. Good job. Well done. Next, 28. 28. When a trial balance fails to agree, the difference is entered in the where we split the difference in the suspense account. Yep, that's right. 29. Which of the following items are not recorded in the appropriation account? B. 1 and 3. Interest on loans from partners, that's correct, and withdrawals from partners. That doesn't go in the appropriation. Very good. 30. Which of the following accounts show how profits and losses are shared amongst partners? Yep, appropriation account, that's right. Very good. 31. During a year, a company bought stationery for $220 and used 120 worth of it. What is the expenditure for stationery that will be posted to the profit and loss account? Somebody saw this question from the other papers and finally fixed it. Because before they used to ask what you would see in the balance sheet. And I always used to say, well, why do they have balance sheet? That doesn't make sense. Stationery doesn't go in the balance sheet. It's expense unless they're selling stationery. But finally somebody realized that and they fixed it. They said, what is the expenditure for stationery in the profit and loss account? So what's this, guys? This is if this is expense and we spent $220 on it, right? What's the amount we need to put in the profit and loss account? What goes there? The amount used or the total amount spent? Because in the profit and loss account, we track in expenses, right? That we incur for the period. So if I go and I take $220 out of my cash and I spend that on stationery, right? My expense for stationery for that period is $220. So if I'm costing the expense of stationery in the profit and loss account, right? I'm gonna have to put what I spent on it. You understand? Not the amount used, because if I say it's the amount used here, then that means if rent costs $1,000 and I pay 200, then I could put 200 in my profit and loss account. But I'll be wrong. The expense of rent is 1,000. If I only pay $200, I still have to cost this at $1,000 in the profit and loss account, and then put that I have a accrued amount to carry forward of $800. You understand? So it's the same thing with the stationery. The expense of the stationery is 220. So even if I use 120 worth of it, well, all right. And then you don't have to buy as much stationery next year. You know, your expense for stationery should drop. But for this period, the amount of money spent on the expense of stationery was $220. So I need to account for that in my profit and loss account. Make sense? Drop a one if that makes sense there. Yeah? Good. Nice. 32. A motor van was credited from AG Motors for use in a business. How should this be recorded? Yep, very good, Simon. Right? Credited just mean you take it on credit. It's like you go in courts and courts just have this nothing down and you take out a big screen TV. Right? Who courts? So it's the same thing here. They debit the motor vehicle account because you're getting a motor van, right? And you have to credit AG Motors because you're now liable for that motor van as a liability. They are creditor. Which of the following are long-term liabilities? I'll give you some hints. So a bank overdraft is a short-term loan from the bank, right? It's a high interest rate. Accrued wages, that's the same example I was giving you with the rent just now. So, you shouldn't be taking your rent when you the landlord for 10 and 15 years and thing, right? Usually creditors will give you like a 30 days to pay them off in it, right? Max 60. And then after that, your debt with them sometimes start to attract interest, right? Debentures. Debentures is something that only public public limited companies could offer as part of their authorized share capital. They do ordinary shares, they do preference shares, and then they do debentures. And this is all part of equity financing. Ordinary shares and preference shares, you get ownership with the business here, right? You have a share in the business, and based on how many shares you have, will determine how much of the profit you would earn. Debentures are something they're like bonds. Ever heard like the government issuing bonds is selling bonds, right? Debentures are actually little loans that the business takes from people. So a debenture might be worth $200, and the PLC would say they're gonna pay 10% interest, or 10 you see a 10% debenture, right, for $200. What that means, Shania, when you're looking at this, is that for every $200, the company is going to have to pay $20 in interest, right? So each debenture is worth 220 in that sense, right? This is a loan to the business. If you give them debentures, they're taking this money from you, and they're agreeing to pay you back 10% on the amount of money that you lend to them. But you purchase the debentures in units, right? So you can either get 200, 400, 600, 800, 1,000 like that. You can't come and just say, well, all right, I'll lend only $100, right? It works in units. And these debentures are usually long term. They would agree to pay that over 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, right? It's a longer term type of liability than the others that we're seeing here. These liabilities, creditors, accrued wages, bank overdrafts, you're going to pay that off in under a year, right? Debentures, 10 might be a little stretching it. Might be a 2 years, or 3 years, or 5 years, 7-year debentures, right? That's how these would go. So correct answer for 33 is B. Yeah. 34. Cash sales were not entered in any books of accounts. This is an error of what? Yep, omission. Very good. Good. 35. Which of the following are benefits of using accounting software? Why would we use accounting software? Yeah, all three of them are good reasons for. Very good, Simon, Alex. All three are good reasons for using accounting software. 36. The total credit of the bank column of a 3-column cash book is greater than its total debit. The most likely reason for this is that there was an overdraft. Very good. Good job. Anytime you see that happening, is an overdraft situation. You're spending more than you have. What is the inventory at the end of January? This is one now we've seen repeatedly in the other papers as well. Yep, very good. Well done, Kyle. 1300. Good job, Alex Shania. 38. Williams is a petty cashier. If she has a float of $200 and she spends 180, how much should she be reimbursed at the end of the period? Very good. The amount she spends, right? 180. That's 180? No, that's 380. Where's 180? 180 is B. Yeah? You wouldn't give her back 200 because she didn't spend 200. She spent 180. So think about it like that. It's like a box with $200 in it. And that's the pay stuff out, during the day. The man had to go and pick up something. The delivery guy had to go and pick up something. They give him a $10 to travel, right? Paper run out. You had to go and buy a stack of paper for the printer. You spend a $25, and that's what you do. So when you use the money, right, at the end of the period, if they agree to reimburse at the end of every day or at the end of the week, you're just putting back what was spent, right, to make it back, to bring it back up to 200. The only way you would have a 200 as an answer is if she spent the entire $200. Make sense? Basically, you always want this at the end of the day when you're closing off to start the new day to have $200 in it. So you replace what you spend. That makes sense to everybody? Drop a one if it does. Right? Okay, great. Excellent. 39. Which book of prime entry? Remember I was talking about that earlier on? Um, is which of one is a book of prime entry? Standard books are original entries or prime entry. They use prime instead of original. They're journals. That's where we put our, like for this sales journal. I'm going to be writing my sales invoice information inside of my sales journal. And the only reason I'll create a sales invoice is if I did a credit sale. If it was cash sale, I don't need I might just need a bill. Yeah. So D for this one. Sales journal is more book of prime entry. Because as the first place I'm gonna do it, right? Prime means one. 40. A non-trading organization is mainly concerned with non-trading. Yep, that's correct. C. Very good. Sign one, Shinayo. 41. A sole trader uses his trading account to determine what? What do we calculate in the? Yep, very good, Simon. Gross profit. Excellent. Right, trading account is basically that, trading, sales, purchases, cost of sales, right? And we do know that to get gross profit. 42. 42. What is the bank balance in the receipts and payments account of K and Friends for the year July 2018? B. Yep, 1600. Very good. Receipts and payments account is just like a cash book. Right? We just call it receipts and payments because of the nature, the type of business. So what you want to do is you want to take note of your balance, your bank balance, and then you're looking at increases and decreases to cash. Pretty much, right? So increases, let's look for increases. Proceeds from raffle. The word proceeds always implies like sales, money you get, right? So this is an increase. So you want to add this to your 700. Um, Sale of equipment. This is an increase, so they get money from this. So you want to add that as well to your bank balance, right? Let's look at decreases now. You purchase something, that's a decrease. Purchase something again, that's a decrease, right? Stock doesn't. This is stock. You didn't buy anything there, right? They're just telling you that the closing stock at the 31st of July was that, so there's no money involved. Donations to charity, that's a decrease. Depreciation is a non-cash item, it's a provision. So you don't need that, right? So if you just total, you add all your positives, like in maths, and you minus all the negatives, you'll get a 1600 here. Right, good job, guys. 43, which of the following states the correct order of the stages in the accounting cycle? Yep, very good, Ariana. Well done, Shania. This is another question that has shown its face pretty often. 44. We have Green and Brown in a partnership. They deposit 5,000 into the bank account. How should this be recorded? Each of them is doing this. Yep, very good. All correct answers. Well done. We want to debit that partnership bank account for 10,000 and we're going to credit each partner's account for 5. Great job, guys. 45. What is the cash balance at the 31st of March? Right, 320, right? This is just like that receipts and payments I was telling you guys about, right? This is in, and these things are out. So you just add and subtract there and you go to, you get 320. 46. So SMB Limited net income for the year 89,000, 8,000 transferred to reserve, 2,400 paid to preference dividends, 65 to ordinary dividends. They want to know the retained profit. Right, Ariana, 72,100. Good job, Ariana. Well done, Shania. Good job, Alex. So basically, this is the last bit of appropriating net profit. So this is your net income. All of these things are going to be taken away from that net income. And what we have is your retained profits after. Right, so you add these up, subtract it from 89,000, and boom, that's the answer there. 47. A mechanic starts his business with 10,000 worth of tools. What's the entry? Very good, guys. Right, it's our opening entry, so that's definitely going to credit capital. And when instead of cash, as we see before, we're going to debit tools. I mean, it's a different type of business, right? Actually like that. That's quite interesting. Shows you there's no, you always need money to start the business, right? 48. When writing up the book of a sole partner of a partnership, which account must each partner have? Yep, good answer, guys. Current account. 49. An asset purchased for 1,000 depreciates at a rate of 10% per annum. What is the book value of the asset at the beginning of the trade year? Yep, 810. Very good. This is another frequent question that we've been seeing. 50. Which of the following accounts are usually transferred to the trading and profit and loss account? So you're looking for expenses and income. Good answers. Very good, guys. Everybody. C. 51. Example of capital expenditure. Yep. Very good again, Ariana, Shania. Well done. Capital expenditure, we buying assets. Right, and what are these? These two here. What's this called? Type expenditure. Revenue expenditure. Very good. Excellent. 52. Amalgamated Components was a private company until it admitted additional shareholders by selling shares on the stock exchange. Amalgamated Components now described as a PLC. Very good. Well done. Whoa. One sec. Good answers. Well done, Ariana, Alex, Avisha. Just get this back. Right. Good. So C was the correct answer for this one. A public limited company. sometimes abbreviated as a PLC. Yeah? 53 refers to this. What is the cost of raw materials available for production? 5,300. Right? That's correct. So this is just like when I was explaining before, the cost of goods available for sale. Right? This is more opening stock or raw materials, and then everything that I purchase is what I have available to produce stuff with. Makes sense, right? At the end of the period, if I take away what I'm left with, then the figure that I get underneath that, right, is my, well, it should be here. I don't know why it's not there. But the figure that I'll get after that would be the cost of raw materials consumed. And that's what I used out of it, right? So remember that. And what is this figure? Did they ask it? No, they didn't ask it. What's this figure here on this side? Let's call that cost of something. Starts with a P. Yeah, that's it. Cost of production. Yeah, you're not accustomed seeing the account like this because you would have done it vertical style, right? Or coming down. But look at it. This is basically a prime cost, adding to overheads and stuff. All you're missing here is work in progress, and then the balance carried on this side is your cost of production. Yeah, that's kind of equivalent to like your purchases in a trading account because they're making their own stuff. But a trading account or a business that's involved in trading, they buy and sell goods. So they don't need a manufacturing account. If I'm making something to sell, let's say I'm a furniture store, I'm gonna have an entire set of expenses that comes before I have a table or a chair to sell or a couch, right, or a bookshelf. I have to deal with that first. And that cost of production now is like my purchases. As it finished goods I'm actually going to sell now. Yeah. 54. To which account should depreciation of office machines be transferred? Yep, very good. Ariana, Alex, well done. Profit and loss. Yeah, excellent. 55. Well done, Shania. The reward of profit received by shareholders called dividend. Well done, Shania, Ariana, Alex. Good answers. Right. 56. Which of the following may be used to calculate the cost of production? Yes, that's correct. D. The only thing we're going to be taking away is that closing work in progress. That's a good way to remember. Prime costs, factory overheads, opening work in progress, and adding all of those things together. The only thing that we're subtracting is this closing work in progress. And that gives us the cost of production I was just talking about. You see it now? So if I go back to that account that was to the top, we'd realize that the things that they had there was the prime cost, the materials and all of that, the factory overheads. And I told you the only thing was missing was opening work in progress, closing work in progress, and I figure on the opposite side would be a cost of production, which is kind of synonymous with purchases in our trading account. 57. Fisk Company's accountant has not recorded rent owing for the period. Fisk's accountant has violated the concept or rule of. Very good. Well done, guys. Shania, Ariana, Avisha, accruals. 58. Purchase of equipment on credit will affect a firm's balance sheet by. Yes, another A. Well done, Simon. Good job. 59. Which of the following is not considered a source document for payroll? So if I stay home from work for more than 3 days, by law or by labor law, I am supposed to give my office a medical certificate, right? I am allowed to take under three consecutive days, and I don't need to provide a certificate. So if I get up this morning, I don't want to go to work, and I call my boss and I say, "Hey, what's going on? I have a headache. I'm not coming out today." Right? I'm entitled to that. Right? I could either apply for it as sick leave or personal leave. If I get sick, let's say I need to go extract a tooth or something, and I'm given sick leave and I'm supposed to be at home resting for 7 days, I have to take a sick leave to them and provide it to my employers. The reason for doing that is they still pay me for being home so long as I'm a permanent employee. Yeah, but they can claim that money back from NIS. Yeah. So medical certificate is actually a document for doing the payroll. Electronic time card will be as well, right? Actually, where I work, we have no electronic time cards, but we have an electronic time clock. So when I get in, I sit on my desk, I need to clock in on my laptop, clock out when I leave it. Um, a clock card, yes. When I used to work in the bank, they had literally a clock card, and you pick up your card and you stick it in this kind of clock machine thing, and it punches your card with the time and the number. Attendance register was when I was in school, right? The teacher used to call out at the front of the class to make sure everybody there, right? That doesn't happen in our workplace, right? So this one is not a source document for payroll. Yeah, remember that, right? Most people just get tricked with this, and it's understandable. I mean, you guys know in work, so you wouldn't know that bit that I just tell you, but you know now. So when you do start working and you decide to stay home on a long weekend and then take the Monday, B was the answer. Yeah, that's not correct. That's wrong, right? Well, I just explain why it's wrong. Because the medical certificate, you would need it on the payroll. You would need to know whether or not to pay that person or not. If I see one of my workers, usually I have to provide to my manager, you know, when you're doing your reports. If everybody was you're gonna go with C, attendance register. That's the correct thing there. You know, for doing a payroll, our payroll wouldn't have an attendance register. You understand? The medical certificate, well, I was just going to explain that. If I'm doing a payroll as an accountant and I am seeing somebody's absent for 10 days, what am I going to do? Pay or not pay? Right? How are you going to make this decision? You can make this decision if I have a medical certificate. If the person had a medical certificate and they were absent because they were not well and they are a permanent employee and they're entitled to sick leave, right? Sick leave means that you could take leave, you could not work on those days and they will still pay you. Then I will need to factor this in to doing the payroll. Understand? Drop a one if that makes sense to you. Understand? Yeah. So it is a source document. If I am the person in charge of doing payroll, as the accountant, as an accounts clerk, and somebody's missing, remember I'm checking time. So how can we check time? We check time here, we check time here, we check time here. Attendance register is not a document that you use in as part of um, checking employees' time, right? Attendance register was like more in school, the teacher sit down and call out the roll. Yeah, because there's not gonna be everybody's not gonna be in at the same time for you to do a roll call, to do attendance register. So this is not a source document for payroll. I mean, it's a good option to put in the inside of the multiple choice because it'll confuse you. It could trick you up. But it's definitely not a source document for payroll. Yeah. 60. This is like I think there's N all the papers with this question. Yeah, I'm not even gonna read it. 246. Right? Everybody, we've seen this a million times. Right? All right, good. So let's look at the other one, 2020. 1. Which of the following financial statements shows the value of a business's assets? Yep, balance sheet does that. Very good. 2. The main internal users of accounting. What are the main internal users of accounting? Very good, Simon. Managers. Right. 3. Which of the following features are benefits of using accounting software? We saw this in 2019. Yep, that's correct, Ariana. D. It's all 3. 4. Which of the following list of activities shows the correct order of the stages in the accounting cycle? Another repeat. D. 5. The following information refers to the assets and liabilities of Mr. Jones. From the above information, Mr. Jones's capital amount is $975. Let's see. That's 1200, 1325, 1825. Payable 600, 850. Yeah, D. Very good. 6. Partnerships are formed for the purpose of. Yep, very good. All of the above. Combining capital from different persons, benefiting from different skills and specializations, sharing ideas, experiences, and responsibilities. Very good. 7. Which of the following is usually used to complete a general journal entry? Yep, good job, Alex. Narration. You guys are doing really good. 8. What is the total amount for the assets? 14,000. Very good. 9. Ram Singh purchased goods valued at 500 on credit. He paid off his bill within the grace period and so received a 10% cash discount. How much did he pay for goods? Yep, D. Excellent. 10. Which of the following items are examples of current liabilities? Yeah, very good. Good job, Simon. 2 and 3 only. Excellent. Right, mortgages are long term. Right, mortgages, debentures. 11. Which of the following entries in a 3-column cash book are contra entries? Right, what's a contra entry? A contra entry is where the debit and the credit is happening in the same account. Right, so in a cash book, a debit of cash and a credit of bank. That means I'm taking money from the bank and I'm taking it out as cash. Yeah, very good, guys. Simon Schneider, well done. Right, A is the correct answer there. 13, no, 12. What is the current ratio of share readers limited? Yeah, very good. 2.1. Right. No current ratio, right? Current assets over current liabilities. If I add up my current assets and add up my current liabilities, I get 2.1. I think it's like 1800 over 1100 was the answer. 13. Which of the following entries should be used to post sales returns? I didn't like this question. I didn't like the answers they gave. What do I get for this one? This was a retarded question. Sorry. A. What's the receivables account? Okay, I now get what this is doing. The receivables account to imply the creditor. I was looking at this question and wondering, I didn't get the answers because I was saying, well, for a sales return, if somebody retained goods to me, I would have to debit my return inwards, and then I would credit the person the debtor's account, right? Just because that's what's happening there. And now I now seen it. Now that you all see it, and I write the wrong thing, not creditor, debtor. Very good, excellent job, guys. Well done. Everybody understand this one, right? Y is A. Just drop a 0 if you want me to explain. All right, no zeros. So everybody good. So it's only me then. 14. Which of the following persons monitor a company's financial statement to discover a desirable rate of return on capital? Yep, investor. Excellent. 15. From the information above, what is the correct closing total for the sales account? Yep, very good. Might have nothing ready to work out here, right? Sales account is a cash sales and a credit sales together, right? 16. Which of the following entries would not appear in a cash book? This is another frequent question. Goods bought on credit. That doesn't belong there. There's no cash involved. 17. Another one that's repeat forever and ever and ever. How you record this in AMB Enterprise? Yep, good job. Right, keep paying, right? So we get money. We gotta give him a discount and we gotta credit the debtor's account. 18. Jones paid $250 in cash for repairs to machinery. Transaction was entered in cash book, posted to the ledger. We want to know what's the double entry. Yeah, that's correct. Debit the repairs account, that's the expense account, and we credit in cash, that's how we paying for it. That makes sense. 19. In order to avoid writing numerous checks for small amounts, a firm may set up what they might set up. Yeah, that's correct. All good answers. A petty cash fund. 20. How would R. Lewis record this information in his ledger? Shania? Well done. D. 30. Right, because this is like an invoice. Right, you're giving this guy a discount of $15. Right, a trade discount, meaning that he's like a frequent buyer, or he usually purchases a lot. So his price is $30, right? And he's a debtor. That's why you're doing this invoice in the same place. And see, it says from the sales book. Sales book is your journal. That's where I record credit sales. Right, so credit in my sales account and a debit in the debtor's account. Very good. 21. Businessman bought a new computer. Paid 4,000 cash, traded his old computer. What's the entry? Yeah, D. Very good, Simon. Right, we're getting a new computer, so that's a new asset. So we know we're debiting that. And how are you paying for it? You're paying cash 4,000, but where the other 2,000 coming from? Right, at the credit the old computer account. Very good. 22. When a proprietor withdraws cash or other assets from a business, what effect does it have on drawings or capital? Yeah, good. Capital is decrease, B. Good. 23. What is the total value of fixed assets? Yes, that's correct. 14,500. These are all fixed assets here. What's the closing capital? Yes. So this is the horizontal method, right? So this is assets is equal to capital plus liabilities. This is your capital here. This is your closing capital. This is your liabilities underneath here. Okay? This figure here is your liabilities. So capital plus liabilities is equal to assets. What's your working capital? Working capital. So working capital will be the difference between this current assets and current liabilities. So B, 5,500. Okay? Good. 26, in calculating gross profit percentage. Gross profit should be divided by. Very good. Well done. Shania, Vishal, Simon, net sales. 27. What is the amount of insurance prepaid at the end of the year? B. 700. End of the year. A. Yeah. So you see that question I was looking at in the earlier part of 2019. And you have the balance carried on here. Look at what they say. What is the balance prepaid at the end of the year, right? When they say like it had a closing debit balance of 600, this is what I mean, it's brought down on the side. You prepaid 600, and look at how the account is set up. They were prepaid 700 at the start of 2017, 700. During the year, they pay $8,000. At the end of the year now, right, they only need to transfer 8,100 to the profit and loss account, because apparently that's the amount that I need to pay in insurance for the year. So the difference between the two sides, 87, this side add up to 8,700. We only transfer in 81. We are taking forward a prepaid amount of $600. Yeah? So A was the correct answer for this. 28. Which of the following financial documents shows the net earnings of a business? Yep, very good. The income statement. Right, or a profit and loss. 29. What is the total of provisions for doubtful debts? That's correct, 340. Good answer. 30. An asset purchased for $1,000 is depreciated at a rate of 10% per annum using a reducing balance method. What is the book value of the asset at the beginning of the third year? Yep, B, 810. 31. An increase in the provision for doubtful debts will be. Yeah, that's right, included in it as an expense in the profit and loss account. Now about a reduction. What do you do with that? What do you record that as? Any takers? If I decrease the provision instead. Yeah, very good, I'll be sure. And it'll be this one. You scratch this off and we see a decrease in the provision, then it'll be included as a revenue in the profit and loss account. Very good. 32. What was the capital of Foster and Scott Limited at 6 March 2018? Yep. E. 90,000. 33. What was the amount of advertising prepaid at year's end? 3,000. Very good. 34, standing order, $25 insurance affairs debit column, a bank statement. If not in the cash book, what are we going to do with it? Yes, that's correct. Credit the cash book. Bank column of the cash book.
35. What is the bank balance per bank statement? D. 530. Anybody else? We're allowed. My cash book balance is 560. Right? Lodgements not entered on the bank statement. So I need to take away that 150 from there. And I need to add back 120. Yeah, 550 is correct. Very good. Everybody know how to do this one? So lodgements not entered in all these set of fancy words. That's just not entered in a bank statement. These are checks that we got that we haven't deposited as yet. But because we received them in the office, the accountant would have already included it in the cash book balance. It just didn't reach in the bank. So if I try to work back to my bank statement balance, then I need to take away this from this because it's not in my bank statement. Take it away. And then total unpresented checks, as the name implies here, are checks that we wrote. Right? We wrote these checks, give it to customers, give it to creditors, sorry. Right? So we would have taken it out of my cash book balance, but they didn't go to the bank with it as yet. So I need to add this back. Right? So we're doing 560, take away 150, add back 120, 530. I mean, if this is positive and this is negative, the difference between the two already is the $30 there. So 560 take away the 30 is 530. Right? 36 was inventory at the end of January. Yeah. C, not C. Difference between the two. This here is 2700. Right? Cost of goods sold is 1400. So to get 1400, I should have been taking away 1300. D. Yeah. Allen 20, Brown cable 5,000 each. Right? They lost 1,000. This is the ratio they selling, they sharing profits in, and they want to know how much cable losses. Cable is the guy with one of the shares. How much his loss is gonna be? Yep, very good, Avisha. 200, 1/5 of 1,000. This is another one that repeats very often. 38, Green and Black agreed to establish a partnership. Right? We saw this before too. They opening the bank account was the entries, both of them opening with $5,000. Each of them deposited 5,000 to the bank account. How should this be recorded in the partnership books? Correct answer is D. Debit the partnership bank account and credit the partner's capital account 5,000 each. 39, a trader had an opening capital of 3,900. His drawings were 900 and his closing capital was 4,860. What was the net profit? Yes, that's correct. See, we saw this in 2020. 40. Rose contributed 7,000 cash and Avika with 3,000 to the partnership. How would her contribution be recorded? Yep, C is correct. Debiting the asset account, crediting the capital account. 41, in a cooperative society, the daily affairs are administered by, yep, persons are elected or appointed to do so. 42, the owners of a business paid a personal medical bill from the bank account of the business. The amount was debited to the miscellaneous expense account. Which of the following concepts were violated? Yeah, that's correct. Business entity. Right? Yeah, keep your stuff and the business stuff separate. Clear all 43.
A photocopying machine valued at 5,000 is depreciated at 10% using a straight line method. What is the book value after 2 years? Yep, it's correct. $4,000. After 2 years, you would have accumulated $1,000 in depreciation. 44, according to the Partnership Act, if there's no deed of partnership, the amount of profits to be received by each partner will be good, very good, divided equally, right? We have no agreement, Partnership Act. We go to court and they have a dispute. Profits and losses should have been shared equally. 45. Which of the following items on a statement of financial position would differ most in presentation when comparing the books of a company and the books of a sole trader? Try it. Something else. Company accounts. Think company accounts. Non-current assets. Yeah, you don't get there. Capital. Right? Because remember for the company account you have your share capital. So inside of there you have ordinary shares, preference shares, right? For a regular sole trader, they don't have access to those type of things. Yeah. 46. The reward of profit received by a shareholder in a limited company is called dividends, right? You all know that one. 47. How does an increase in bad debts affect sole traders' financial statements? What does that do? An increase in bad debts. How we treat with that? We treat with that as an expense. So it decreases net profit. Very good. 48. Which of the following accounts are nominal? Yep. Wages and rent. 49. Which of the following terms best describes the final accounts of a non-profit organization? Sorry. 2 and 3. It's correct. C. Very good. 50. An example of capital expenditure is money spent doing what? Capital expenditure. Yep. Purchasing a new building. 51. The purpose of an appropriation account is to do what? Why do we need an appropriation account? Yeah, you're right. To show how the net profit is distributed in a partnership or in a cooperative. Very good. 52. If revenue expenditure is overstated, which of the following items will be affected? Revenue expenditure. That's your normal expenses, right? Rent, rates, provisions, so depreciation, telephone, stationery. You overstate that. It should have been 10, you put as 15. What's it affecting? Working capital?
Working capital is with current assets and current liabilities. Surplus, yep. Surplus is another word for your profit, net profit. Right, they try to trick us up there. 53. When writing up the books of a partnership, which account must each partner have? Yes, that's correct. Each partner must have a current account. Good. 54. What is the cost of raw materials consumed? Yes, that is correct. This is our cost of raw materials consumed. See. Good. Um, 55. The amount of the club's accumulated fund was. Very good, Shania. 56. Salaries paid to the administrative staff in a factory would be classified as which of the following? Yep, B, indirect. When a company declares a dividend of 15%, the dividend warrant of a shareholder owning $1,501 shares is another B, 225. 58. Prime cost is 79,110. Office expense is 3,000, and factory overheads is 4,720. How much is the cost of production? Let's see. So you're not going to use office expense, right? Because that's going to come in your P&L part. Cost of production is just prime costs and factory overheads. So the answer. Yep, that's correct. C. 59. Use any list of answers above. What is the cost of goods produced? Yeah, that's correct. 11,100. And I'm not reading this question. What is his net pay? See what I did is end all these people to this question. A. Good. All right, not bad. I'm going to pause the recording a little bit.